Today on Pen to Pen Podcast, we chop it up with my homie Barry Washington, aka Stack. Former resident of Sunny, California, he hails from the streets of San Diego and LA. He is the former road manager of Life Jennings and has affiliations with the likes of Quincy Jones, Suge Knight, The Game, Waka Flocka, Sheree from Atlanta Housewives, Quad from Married to Medicine, and many, many more.
I was traveling around the world, homie. I'm talking about from different countries.
Right.
To going to Grammys, going to the ESPY Awards, going to the MTV Awards.
Doing a 5-year bid in the state of Georgia, he currently resides in Atlanta and works in the film industry. All the while, he continues to fight against a system that has him serving an enormous amount of probation, parole, and fines, which is ultimately keeping him confined, even though his incarceration has ended. He recently did a guest appearance on Big Facts podcast with Big Bank Black and the crew.
So explain to people what's the difference between parole and probation.
Parole, you still under the Department of Corrections. You know what I mean? Like you still locked up. Yeah, you still locked up. Like out here in Cali, we say you walking with a long tail.
During his appearance, he expounded on his current passion, which is associated with the nonprofit organization Reform Alliance, where he demonstrates his advocacy and dedication to the world of prison reform.
Who wants to live a life where you can't, I'm not doing anything wrong. I paid my debt to society. You have to check in everywhere you go. Before you leave, you have to give the parole people a 2-week note. And it's kind of hard because just say emergency, God forbid, a crisis happens amongst my family. I can't just get on the plane. That could be a violation. I have to go back to prison.
From the West Coast to the East Coast, let's check out his multifaceted views on success, reform, and life in general. Let's get it.
Like I wouldn't take it to the back with you. That nigga bought the sack with you. 19.
Yeah, welcome everybody to Pen to Pen Podcast. Today I have with me Barry Washington. Salute.
What's that?
Infamous Barry Washington. You know what I'm saying? But he has some things going in a positive way. He's in the film industry. Was formerly in the music industry, life manager. Right?
Yeah, did some tour manager work, a couple artists, Life, Game, Waka, Timberland. I've been around a little bit. Good face card in the music industry.
True that. So tell the people a little bit about yourself. Tell them what it was like prior to you being incarcerated. That's what I want to know a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm from a lot of cats. When I tell them I'm from California, I'm from San Diego, California, man. It's right below San Diego, right below LA, right next to the Tijuana border. But it's like the left coast. We get left off because LA and the Bay Area is so big. When you come down to San Diego, I got a lot of roots and family in LA and San Diego. LA and Oakland. But where I'm from in San Diego, man, it's like the black community is so small, and the gang banging is real tough out there, man. But we produce a lot of people from my neighborhood. From the Marcus Allens, Heisman Trophy winner, Rashawn Salam, Reggie Bush, Ricky Williams, Terrell Davis, Kevin Mitchell, young Norman Powell. It's a lot. We produce a lot of great athletes, but it's either what they say, you got that wicked jump shot, or you slinging crack rock, or you banging. That's where I'm from. I'm from that neighborhood. So
okay.
And just to get a chance to escape, to get up out of California, to go to college in Atlanta, start working in the music industry. And it gave me an opportunity to just look back on my life and like, damn, we stuck, from where I come from. A lot of people don't make it out. Like, again, Nick Cannon, Faison Love, they made it out, but they came from our environment, but they had somebody to really take them under the wing and get them about.
Right.
A lot of my partners, my peers, most of them in the penitentiary, pimping, banging, or dead, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can dig that. So you came up in San Diego. How did you end up in LA?
Well, first, Suge, let me say this. Suge, the neighborhood I'm from is a blood hood called Lincoln Park, you know what I mean? And we got
back in San Diego.
Yeah, back in San Diego. Okay. And Suge and I used to come down there and put football games on against the Bloods of LA, against the Bloods against San Diego. And Suge took a liking to me when I was a youngster. My homeboy TP, rest in peace, him and Suge was good friends. And we used to go up there and play ball, and Suge took me under the wing as a youngster, and he used to always be like, homie, you got more in you. Don't get stuck up out here. You know what I mean? He used to always tell me, don't get stuck up out here, homie. Get up out of here. and spread your wings. He used to always tell me, don't get the hood tattooed on you, none of that shit. And so when I went up to LA, he used to always be like, hey, open up his doors for me, whatever I need. And from there, just never looked back, homie. And then I said I need to get up out of California still, because San Diego, Los Angeles is much bigger than San Diego. But you know, I built a lot of great relationships up in LA, and I was like, man, I still want to get back to Atlanta, because to go back after I graduated high school, I went to Atlanta. I went to Morris Brown College. I applied to go to college because I was like, I need to get out of here. In my senior year of high school, homie, our valedictorian, he got killed. Not in a gang or nothing. He got killed, and he's the first black in our neighborhood to get a full academic scholarship to Ivy League school to go to Cornell University. His name was Willie Jones. And I said, I got to get out of here. My counselor pulled me to the side. I lost my homeboys, Willie. My cousin went to prison. There was just a lot of things going on. And I was like, I got to get out of here. I'm going to be a product of my environment. I'm either going to be dead or go to prison at a young age. So I decided to go to college, bro.
Man, I didn't even know that about you right there, man. I didn't know you had some colleges. You got a little education, just
a little education, not too much, man. You know, I got a little something, man. I took it for a little, but I didn't finish school though. I just went out there for a quick second.
Right.
But I was still used to my environment, homie. You know where we come from. It's a change. A lot of people ain't really making change in their life. So I was like, man, I gotta get back to California. I was like, I'm not used to being out here. I consider this being slow in country back in the days. You know what I mean? But I seen all these black people. The Freaknik was going on. Too Short just moved out to Atlanta, but I'm still used to gang banging, being around my peers.
Yeah.
And you know, I was like, damn, I'm not ready for no college life. You know what I mean? I'm not ready to change. And went back to California and came back. And I was like, okay, I gotta get back to Atlanta. You know what I mean? So it was just a little process to it though. But
so tell me, what was your if you don't mind sharing, what led to incarceration then for you? Like, what was that movement about? But cause did you consider yourself on going down a bad path?
Just like any of us, any young black man coming up, man, I wanted financial freedom. So I took the path of, okay, if I get away from one of my homeboys, he showed me, he's like, my nigga, like, get away from this gangbanging shit. Let me show you how to get some money. Mm-hmm. And I was just really trying to make some pathways, because nobody in my family I seen with no legacy, with no foundation. You know what I mean? Nobody didn't pass nothing down, no property down to me. So I always thought about financial freedom, bro. Like, what can I do to make some money and take care of my family? You know what I mean? Like, what can I do to provide? I see my mom grinding, my grandmother, you know what I mean? Everybody just working just to get by, check to check, but nobody not really building no wealth, no long-term wealth. So I jumped off the porch, went to my homeboy, showed me how to get some money. Shit, I didn't look back, homie. I was like, man, I'm gonna get this money and I'm gonna make it work. I had a nice little run though.
Right.
Run.
So would you share with the people your offenses, or if you don't mind?
So I went to prison. I'm currently on parole right now, so I gotta, choose my words real careful what I say and what I speak. But I went to prison for a drug trafficking charge, man, back in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I did that. So drug trafficking. So tell me this: in prison, while you was incarcerated, what was your mind state? What did you like? Did you have a go-to? Did you have something like? One in religion? Was it religion for you? Was it business? Did you have something to kind of like move you in the direction to what you're currently doing?
Man, really, it was a reset, homie, because it was unreal at first. When I first got locked up, you got to remember, Q. I'm gonna just skip around a little bit from spot to spot. I was traveling around the world, homie. I'm talking about from different countries,
right?
To going to Grammys, going to the ESPY Awards, going to the MTV Awards. So me being in prison was like, this was the most uncomfortable environment I've ever been in my life, homie. Because I was like, now I'm forced to get up. I'm forced to be around some dudes I'd never be around in my life, homie. So I was like, but I can adapt. You put me around the worst of the worst and the best of the best. I'm not adapt to any situation. But now I'm stuck with these niggas all day, every day. Dope fiends, liars. These niggas, in the penitentiary, you can be all you can be in there, man. Whoever you want to be.
Correct.
So it just taught me how to trust the process, homie. Like, I was trying to cheat the process the whole time, and I found peace. It may sound weird, homie, but I found peace when I was in prison because I didn't have nobody pulling at me. I didn't have to look on my shoulder. I was feeding a lot of people in different states, homie. I wasn't just in Georgia. I was in Minnesota, Cleveland, St. Louis. I was doing my 1-2, but my phone wasn't ringing. The whole thing in prison, you want to get out. And I was trying to cheat the process. Like, who I gotta pay. I had some paper put up. I was like, hey, give this attorney this money. Let him file for a habeas corpus. Get me up out of here.
Right.
And I was trying, and then after about 3 years of being in, I said, you know what, I gotta just trust this process, homie. You know what I mean? Because I lost a couple of my homeboys when I was in prison. You know what I mean? The niggas who I grew up with, they got knocked off in Atlanta too. Actually, 2 of them got killed. My homeboy Sam, he got killed in 2019, and my homeboy Solo Jamil, he got killed in 2015. So I was like, you know what? I'd never been robbed when I was out in the streets, and I don't know what it could have led to. Homie, I'm going out of town with 20 bricks. I'm going out of town with 30 bricks, and my word is, you know, I had a pretty good judge of character, but shit, a nigga knock you off for a half a brick, you know what I mean? And so I just really sat back and thought about, like, the whole time I was in there, like, man, okay, this really saved me for real, homie, you know what I mean? This really saved me, and I never looked back at it until I was really sitting down. I was like, damn, and I started seeing my homeboys get knocked off. And so now I just had to put a plan together. I didn't know I was gonna be a Teamster, homie. I didn't know nothing about no Teamsters in prison, homie. I was like, when I get back, I'm thinking about the next get rich, you know what I mean? Like, am I gonna call my amigo? Am I gonna get back into it? You know what I mean? Because that's all I knew. That's what gave me financial freedom. So.
Okay. So let's take it back though. Okay, prior to prison. So if you, those are the moves you were making, and you was working with all of these people and traveling the world.
Okay.
Was that just with the music thing?
No. That was a little bit of both. Like, the people in the industry didn't know how deep I was in the streets. Q, like, they looked at me as like, oh, this dude's in the industry. I don't know if are you familiar with, you ever seen, you know, Clarence Savani is the Black Godfather?
Yeah.
So I kind of was, everybody knew me in the music industry, but they didn't know they was like, what is he doing? Them dudes couldn't pay me what I was getting out here. You know what I mean? Being on the road, I experienced a lot of people. I mean, I experienced a lot of things and met a lot of people being on the road, but that was really my front, homie. That was my front. I could go work with a person, but I would pay an artist a couple dollars to just cut me a check and let me travel with you for a minute, you know what I mean? But then on the back end, like, nigga, okay, when I feel like when I just got dumped about 20, 30 bricks off, I'm taking a good 2-3 months off. I'm traveling to Dominican Republic, or I might just be like, hey, let me get on the road and work with this artist just to, you know, make sure I'm keeping a clean face, you know what I mean?
So what are some of the artists that you was working with?
Life Jennings, my boy Game, Jay Holiday, Carl Thomas, Timberland, Kerry Hilson, my boy Shakespeare. Shakespeare he's a producer. Anthony Dent.
You got a slew of them.
Yeah.
And was this the same time that you still was running with Suge here and there, or no?
See, I really became real cool with Suge in the music industry after Pac died. You know what I mean? I knew him before Pac died, but I was still a young pup. I was still on the porch. You know what I mean? I didn't jump off the porch yet. So Pac died in 96. So I'm 2 years out of high school. You know what I mean? I'm just now came to Atlanta. It didn't work out. Went back to California, but I never got a chance to be around Pac. You know what I mean? I've been around everybody else. Been around Snoop. Been around the whole Death Row. And that was the first place that really opened my mind up to be like, I never seen Bloods and Crips together. Again, from San Diego. San Diego is a majority blood hood. It's nothing but bloods. You got a few Crip hoods out there like Jail Felony. I don't know if you know who that rapper is. He's a Crip from San Diego, but he was the first rapper, a West Coast rapper signed to Def Jam. You know what I mean? But they hood are so small compared to there's so many bloods that dominate in San Diego, and so again, I never seen Bloods and Crips kicking like that. But me, I knew Crips I was cool with, but as far as hanging out all together, Death Row was the first place I seen Bloods and Crips really together, and I'm like, damn, this shit is bigger than what niggas out here killing over for. You know what I mean? So I seen, Snoop got his Long Beach homies with him, his OG partner from 60 named Keita Rock. They all together in Death Row. Buntry, Heron, Suge, all these niggas is like all together, and these some real reputable motherfuckers from LA. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, damn, can't be done.
So did you do state time or federal?
Man, I did state time. Hey, it's crazy, Q, right? I just knew when I was hustling. I said anything I do, homie, it's gonna be fair time. I know what type of game I'm playing. Right. So I'm like, I already know. I never did no time before, homie. All the things I got away with, I'm like, shit. If I ever get caught up, I know I'm going to the feds. Mm-hmm. So I already had that in my mind. And so when state troopers pulled me over and everything, I didn't know the driver got stopped in Arkansas and all that stuff. He cooperated, and so I always like to tell people I didn't get caught. The nigga told on me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it all worked out for the best. But I did state time here in Georgia. I was like in 7 different prisons. But when I got arrested, I was trying to go back and like see if the feds gonna pick my case up. I'm like, look, man, I'm trying to like this just started in California, man. I'm like, why I ain't going to the feds? From what I heard, it's like if you're gonna go do some time, do some fed time. You know what I mean? You go to one of these little camps, catch sweet, and I get out here and I guess the feds didn't pick it up. For whatever reason, they didn't pick my case up, so it stayed. And I was like, shit, I'm still like, man, it all worked out because I might have did more time in the feds, but I wouldn't have had all this paperwork in the feds. You know what I mean? The state, I did 5 years, but I got a long ass tail, 15 years probation, 10 years parole, $500,000 fine. I'm like, what the fuck? Feds, they might give you about 5 years on paper or something, you know what I mean? But you might do more time. So I don't know, man. It all worked out the way it's supposed to work. I'll never look back and be like, damn, I wish I would have did it. But back then, I was fighting for jurisdiction. Like, man, this shit started state to state. It's supposed to be federal time. You know what I mean?
Right. So did you? How was it? How was the state time for you? Every state is different in how they do in time, right? So, yeah. Did you have any like encounters or whatever?
I really didn't have no major hiccups. You know what I mean? These dudes out here, they different. You know what I mean? Like again, Georgia penitentiary is dominated by Bloods. It's a lot of GDs out here. There's a few Crip hoods, but these Bloods hoods out here are so deep. And these niggas, but they banging different from California. Like, so when I first got in there, I didn't even tell niggas I was affiliated with none of that stuff. You know what I mean? I was like, man, I'm standing myself. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I hope this switch don't have to go off or trigger somewhere. I have to get back on my defense gangbanging mode because it's like, but I know how to move. And I just started seeing these dudes. I'm like, I just carry myself in the streets with respect. I had a couple little scuffles, nothing serious. Nobody never tried me. One little dude didn't know nothing about me. He saw me with some Jordans on. He said, what size them? I took off. I'm like, nigga, what size they are? But
took them from you?
Nah, nigga, I took off on him. Nigga, ain't no nigga ain't shit. Ain't a nigga take it from me, I'd have still been gone, nigga. What he say? There's gonna be a lot of repercussions up in this motherfucker. But nah, he a little nigga. This was I had like 2 years left, and I was going to this prison called Wilcox State Prison. There's like on the bus going there traveling. There's like, look, man. How do you? I told him I'm like 40-some years old. There's like, you on minimum security? Oh, you can probably go to the open door or something. As long as you don't go to H1 or H2, you good. I'm like, all right. I get on the bus. Now they do my paperwork and the intake. And they like, Washington, you going to H1? I'm like, huh? I'm like, man, I'm minimum security. You know what I mean? They like, what you scared? I'm like, scared, but I'm like thinking H1 to H2 was number Bloods, H2 number Crips, and so I don't know. I forgot it might have been the other way around, but. So they tell me I'm going there with nothing but the Bloods. I'm like, damn, these niggas, I'm like, nigga, I don't bang no more. I'm like, what y'all doing? They pull a foul or something in California. I get an H2, go down there, H1. I forgot what dorm it was, but little nigga gonna come up to me and tell me what size shoes you wear. I said, oh, man, hold on, man. Ended up taking off on him. But it all worked out because another nigga in there, OG Blood Red, I had to go back to gangbang like, nigga, I'm from whoop whoop whoop. Yeah. And the little nigga who tried to take my shoes up, I whooped on him. He carried my mat, did all type of shit for me. So it all worked out.
That's crazy. So talk to the people about upon your release. What did you what was the situation upon your release?
So I came home in January 2020, and so when I came home, I'm like a couple days after I came home, Kobe Bryant died, right?
Right. So
now the world, everybody grieving Kobe Bryant. I'm like, damn, Kobe, but I'm home, y'all. Like, I'm looking at my people like, okay, damn, rest in peace, Kobe. And then you get hit with a pandemic, like a month later after that. So everything shut down. I'm like, nigga, I already been in the pandemic. So everybody else trying to, it's a surprising thing for them that they being still. I'm like, I've been still. So I didn't know what I was going to do, homie. I didn't know, again, and let me rewind this back too. I had my CDO license back in 2008. And so when I got to the Wilcox State Prison, after being there about 2 months, they put me on the fire team. But they looked for somebody to drive the fire truck, and I was like, I got my CDO license, so I slept in the trailer. So now, fast forward, I come home.
You slept in the trailer in prison?
Yeah. I was on the fire team at Wilcox State Prison. So after about being inside H1 or H2, whatever dorm I was in, somebody's like, man, you got your CDO license? You need to be on that fire team. It's sweet out there. You get packages from the outside. I'm like, shit, I got my CDO. They walk me to DMV. Got my CDO license renewed, and I was driving the fire trucks. And I'm getting packages from anybody. You could have sent me a package, but so now when I come home in 2020, I got my license, my CDL license still. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Everything's shut down. It's slow, a pandemic, and I think my homegirl Tashina Arnold, Pam that play on Martin, and Faison Love was like telling me about some Teamsters. They're like, man, you need to try to get on with the Teamsters. I'm like, what the hell is a Teamster? They're like, man, it's some good money. I'm telling you, you're driving on movies and sets. I'm like, I don't know about no Teamster. I know about the old mob team. They say, yeah, it's the same thing, but it's working with the movies. I kind of brushed it off. And then my homegirl Robin, Storm Reed, the little actress, her mom, like, Barry, you need to, cause I was talking to her about, I was like, you guys need help, you and Storm need help, cause they up now, you know what I mean? I'm like, you guys are doing big movies, and she's like, Barry, you need to try to get on with the Teamsters. I'm like, damn, Tashina just told me about this, Faison told me about it, and so I'm like, tell me a little bit more about it, Robin. She's like, I'm gonna introduce you to somebody. She's like, I'm out in LA, they filming, I see the local, I see some, I forgot the union out there in LA, and I see the whole bunch of movie trucks. I'm like, dang. And she, the man tell me like, hey man, I drive. He tell me about how to join the union. He's like, man, we make good money out here, but it's hard to get on to LA. You know, a lot of blacks. It's hard for blacks, anybody to get on to LA, especially blacks. And so when I come out to Atlanta, they about to start hiring for the union, the Teamsters, and I just follow protocol. Homie paid my little $1,800, slept in the car overnight through that long line, and shit, I made that $1,800 back in a week process.
Yeah, it was probably 3-4 days you made that back.
Yeah, I made that right back, homie. So that's probably like the best thing that happened, but it's not my end game, homie. It's just, it's something that's going to help me maintain into the next process. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, recently you spoke with Prison Reform
Reform Alliance.
Yep. Was that the Jay-Z Meek Mill thing or something like that, right?
Yep. And Michael Rubin, the owner of the 76ers, Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Jessica Jackson. She's like one of the head. She's one of the top dogs up there. But you know, that's something I love doing that, homie. I love talking about how messed up it is being on this paperwork. You know what I mean? How Reform. I think you came to the little interview I had for him. So
yeah, talk. Speak on your interview. Talk about the situation and the purpose of why you were speaking on Reform Alliance.
Because it's like so many people, Americans that's on parole or probation, how it affects them not being able to travel, how it affects their family, how you can't, they violate you for the littlest little infractions that you do. So they basically want to use my story because like it's a difference between sympathy and empathy, homie. Like people that's never been through it, or people that's not on parole, probation, or never been in the system, they don't know what it's like. Even though they family members and everybody else on the outside may feel it. But so I was explaining to them like how I can't just get up and travel, how I have to get approval from my parole officer to go, even for jobs. When we went to Detroit, when we was filming in Detroit, my parole officer didn't want me to go up to Detroit because she said, she just was trying to hold me back. So it's like, damn, do I go and just say forget her and go make this money and go to work and then come back and get violated and go have to spend some more time? So it's just basically they know it's like it's a business, man. It's all about that money, bro. It's like, and they expect you, if you're on paperwork, they expect you like, he's gonna come back in here. You know what I mean? Yeah. The same thing, like look at all these little dudes that took that they went out real bad, like all the little thugs, all the little niggas that turned on thugs. They got all that time on paperwork. They didn't have to do no time. But them little niggas gonna fuck up, you know what I mean? Them niggas gonna make
they sitting on the boatload of
paperwork. They got that long tail with them, and it's like they think they doing, you know what I mean? That's a whole nother subject. We get into that too, because them niggas went out bad, homie. They did bad, but so the Reform Alliance, man, I think what they doing is a good thing, man, because they really trying to pass these bills and these laws out here. I know Senate Bill 105 applies out here to Georgia for your first offense. You've never been in trouble. You've been home 3 years, and I qualify for that, but I got to get off parole first. You know what I mean? So.
And how long is your parole?
My parole was 10 years. Well, 7 more years left. Like, they gave me 10 years parole, 15 years probation, but that's after I do my 10 years parole. So after I do 10 years parole, okay, you done with parole, but nigga, now come deal with this 15-year probation. Like, nigga, come on, man. What kind of shit is that? Like, nigga gonna be dead. They gonna be digging a nigga up. I'm just like making sure I'm still in my coffin and shit. So
yeah, that's crazy.
So I'm applying right now. I got this attorney trying to help me get off parole right now. Then after I get off parole, I already qualify for Senate Bill 105 to help me get off probation. So.
And what's the attorney? I think you mentioned the attorney.
Jerry Froelich Jr. That was my first attorney. I just hired him recently, but. He's in the process of trying to help me do some stuff. He's a real great federal attorney. Well, he's a good attorney out here in Atlanta. He on point out here. Real good brother.
You had a young lady. What's her name again?
Who's that?
The attorney you was telling me about. You had a young lady that was helping you out as well.
Oh no, she's not an attorney. You're talking about Topeka Sam. Now Topeka did time. She. If you ever get a chance, check out Topeka Sam. She's at she did time in Baltimore. But she did 3 years. She do some. I was telling you about Sandra Rucker. She was helping me. That's the one who did 28. She's the first woman in the United States convicted of 13 life sentences. That's what I was telling you about. Topeka.
Tell me about,
She did 28 years, homie. She's the one that's helped me through my paperwork. That's the one who helped me out. But Topeka introduced me to Sandra. And Sandra, the one that helped me do, was doing Balance of Motion and stuff. So yeah, she's the one I'm back in court.
Shout out to Topeka, Sandra,
Yeah.
and the attorney that you had that's got you helping you right now. What's his name?
Jerry Froelich, that's
Jerry
Jerry Froelich.
Froelich,
Yeah,
okay,
so
that's
you
what's
know,
up.
a nigga can't lay down, homie. We got to keep fighting, homie, and keep
Yeah.
pushing forward, bro.
So what's the objective for you?
When I get off paperwork, I really want to go around here and speak in these prisons, homie. I want to go speak to these prisons. I want to go speak to these juvenile facilities, these young men. I still do speaking engagements now. Like I go to different programs. The City of Refuge out here, a brother named Greg Washington. I go speak to the people that's in halfway houses coming home, making that transition. And so the whole thing is to get out here, man, and just to teach and give back to the young people that's out here looking at the TVs and the artists, what they listen to, what they watching on TV. Go back and just tell them the truth of this shit. Cause this shit really mirrors and smoke. These niggas listening to that, these niggas gonna crash out, homie. You know what I mean? They seen all these young niggas out here rapping about it, thinking that's the lifestyle, nigga. Them niggas they ain't cut like that for real, homie. I wish a nigga, me and you was talking about this the other day. I wish a nigga could go. I know Thug wish he could go back and replay that conversation he had with Rollo. What's his name? Wallow, the brother from the podcast.
Yeah.
Wallow dropped some jewels on that nigga talking about, look, nigga, don't
Play
make
yourself
this
off
money.
the street,
And
right?
Play yourself off the street.
Right.
So, it's a lot of things I want to do. Even sit down and talk with you, bro. Like what you got going with this, with your podcast, homie. I want to push it, homie, and really be able to here and drop these jewels on these people, homie. We the mailman. We drop the mail off and we keep it pushing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that. I like that. And I recently was looking at something that Gilla was speaking on about the cats in the industry and just trying to how deceptive the game is.
Yeah.
And how a lot of people was kind of blackballed him in the industry.
Oh yeah, he got blackballed.
People, yeah. So just talking about how people are not really playing the game fairly.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people. So yeah. So when you get what like okay, that's your plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the execution of it though?
I'm figuring out right now, Q. Homie, we talk about me and you talk almost damn near 10 times a day, homie. I'm trying to, because we got so many different avenues and the relationships I have.
Yeah.
I have a lot of great relationships, homie. I'm trying to put it together. That's why I need a brother like you, because I know my gifts. I know my talents and what I'm good at. I'm good with people, homie. I know how to build these relationships. So I'm trying to execute on how to put these relationships together now. Because I'm like this. Me and you talk about this all the time. We done worked on sets together and we've been around these people. And I know how to gravitate to these people. I know how to reel them in, but it's like, I think part of me, my pride, if I ask these niggas for something and they say no, I might spaz out on them. I be scared. I ain't gonna say scared. I just don't want to ask motherfucker for nothing, because if they say no, I'm gonna look at them funny. I mean, a situation I had with that with one of the artists I worked with. The nigga said he'd help me. I asked him. The nigga didn't help me. Nigga, I almost put the wolves on him. You know what I mean?
Man.
But so I'm trying to execute it now and think strategically, homie, so we can have that financial freedom, so we can go out and have a platform like, big shouts out to Big Bang for Big Facts for. $1 million worth of game, Dream Champs. Them brothers is doing big, but the thing what you doing right here is just as big, but we don't have the recognition. We just need them people to get, you got the platform. We just need the people to get on here and speak and keep pushing it, homie. And so whatever I could do, homie, you have a great vision, not with just this, with your other things you got going as far as with television and film.
Appreciate it.
Homie, I'm just trying to figure it out and find my lane, homie, still. You know what I mean? Use these relationships that I have to help out, homie, and just bring what I can bring to the table, because everybody got a part to play. You know what I mean? I know my strengths and my weaknesses, homie. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you definitely have a lot of relationships. And I do believe that you have the capability of exercising it and putting it into motion. You just got, like you say, you just got to see the angle on it.
Yeah, for sure.
And ain't nothing wrong with finding that angle at all either, right?
Yeah.
And move it in the direction that you need to move it in that, because it's there for you, dog. I already told you that.
Yeah.
I've been saw that. So.
Appreciate it. You always tell me about that. But you know what, homie? We just get so, we get caught up. Me and you always talk about this, like working. We get working, making some good money. We make good money at what we do. But it's like, it's a distraction sometimes, because it's like you get used to making that money and you get comfortable, homie. You paying these bills. It's like you chasing your tail, because now you like, I got to depend on this job. But homie, we on borrowed time. We gotta shoot our best shot and go for what we know. We don't get a second chance at this shit. You know what I mean? At life, So we gotta push forward. And it's like I said, we can sit down and brainstorm anytime with people who watching the podcast have some ideas. You know what I mean? Let's push it, homie. You know what I mean? 'Cause I don't really care about the small talk, homie. You know what I mean? Like we in the same boat, homie. We trying to build this legacy and think long term. I mean, that's why I fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like we could bounce off each other with ideas and creativity.
Yeah, that's a good segue into Any advice?
Yeah.
Any advice that you may have, or any words of wisdom that you have for people coming, the youth, people getting out, the transition that need to be made, and just your everyday people. Any advice?
I always say this, homie. I'm gonna take it back. I heard this saying a while back, right? There's two brothers coming up. They were both raised in the same household. You know what I mean? Coming from poverty. And one brother today is a doctor. The other brother's a dope fiend. You know what I mean? And they interviewed both of the brothers and asked them how, you know what I mean? Like, let me take this back. Their parents were both on drugs. They, come from poverty. They asked the brother that's a doctor, how'd you become a doctor? He said, because of my environment I grew up in. My parents were on drugs, this, that, and other. So they asked the other brother, how'd you become on drugs? He said, because of my poverty. My mom was on drugs, my dad was on drugs in the area. So one used it as an excuse, and the other one used it as fuel. So you know what I mean? So I always try to tell a person, don't make no excuses, make adjustments, homie. And no matter where you from, where you at, like my nigga, don't let no one situation define you, homie. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta get out that comfortable situation so you can get uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta get uncomfortable to get comfortable and birth something that's in you, homie. So I always just tell a person, even if you've been to the penitentiary, homie, it ain't over with, nigga. If you're in the penitentiary, try to drop jewels on people to help the person out, because you never know where your blessing's gonna come from. And when we put out in this world, homie, you're gonna get it back, homie. You're gonna get it back.
For sure.
And so, like, I don't know, homie. You just gotta keep striving, homie. You can't give up, homie. You can't lay down, homie. Niggas get tired and just want to quit, knock themselves off, like you was talking about the other day, nigga. Can't knock yourself off, homie. It's too much in you, nigga. You got a gift. Everybody got a gift and talent, and you gotta find them. You gotta change your environment. You gotta think positive. You gotta breathe, eat, sleep that shit, homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, we just gotta keep striving, keep pushing, homie. No matter what, 10 toes down, homie. You know how it go.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, man, I think we'll end it with that. That's what I wanted to end on. You got anything else you want to add to it?
Nah, man. We came a long way from our environment, homie. From if we go back to the African days, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, it's a saying that say, Rosa sat so Martin could march, so Obama could run. We're gonna pass the torch now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true that.
So we just gotta keep pushing, homie, and don't lay down, and whatever we gotta do, homie, we gotta just.
We just gotta keep going and collabing, man,
yeah.
and manage money.
Man,
that's what we be fumbling at.
Trying to help people out all the time. Homie. We care too much. We care about people too much, man. Always trying to help a person out, you know what I mean? We always try to carry that torch for people, man.
Yeah.
But so we gotta you gotta be selfish, man, and you gotta make sure to what they say on the plane, secure your mask before you secure somebody else's mask, man. We gotta secure our mask, man, and make sure we continue to strive, bro. You know that, man.
All right. Hey, salute.
Always, homie.
Barry Washington.
Come on, man.
AKA Stacks.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes, if you know me to Stack, if I hear somebody call me Stack, I know they really know me. You know what I mean? In the penitentiary, they say Cali. Stack is something that stuck with me. But, I always turned from Stack. It came from Stack of Grip. E40 gave me that name back in the days. And, people say Stack for short. So I just, keep it pushing. And
okay.
So we always going to make it happen, homie.
All right, we salute.
Always, man. Appreciate you always, man. Always, homie.
Pen Podcast, y'all.
Always,
Y'all see what it is.
Make sure y'all check my boy out, man. He out here doing his thing, man.
You got your page?
Huh?
Anything? Instagram?
Oh, I ain't got nothing built yet, man. I don't have nothing built yet. I'm piggybacking off your page, man. If y'all want to get in touch with me, man, you can go to Pen to Pen, man. Q not to get in touch with me. It's my partner right here, so
All right.
Free them boy, and I hope that boy Young Thug get out, man. That's why I wanted to piggyback on that one. I hope that boy Thug get out, man. Like, he been, heavy on my mind, man. I hope he get out and get another opportunity to get out here and, get another second chance so we could. I hope you get out, man. It's a fucked up situation with that old boy.
Yeah, that's a tight situation to find yourself in.
Yeah, appreciate you again, homie.
Yeah, I appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all take care, man. Thanks for tuning in. Pen to Pen Podcast.
All day.
Yeah.